Yeah, like recently I did an interview with Eskino and I spoke about sort of this thing that's been brewing on social media between foundational Black Americans and, like African and Caribbean Black people and so forth. And I chimed in on that. A lot of people were mad over kind of some of the takes that I took. So in fact, Tariq Nasheed is going to come on my show in a couple of days. We're going to talk about it because he's like the biggest FBA, guy that I know, that I'm cool with. But what I was talking about, which kind of disappointed me, was there was like a American Black woman that was calling for a boycott of African braiding shops because, she feels that they are not, they're somewhat abusive and not very nice to Black people, to American Black people. So she called for a total boycott of any store owned by Africans. You see what I'm saying? And that to me just sort of bothered me, but I am white. I don't really know the entire nuance of everything. But then again, I have mixed children. So I'm speaking, from that point of view of I don't want my kids growing up, not liking non-American Black people. I want them to have Jamaican friends and, African friends, Caribbean friends and so forth. I mean, when you see that type of thing happen as a Black person, what do you think?
I think it's ridiculous. And the reason I think it's ridiculous because if me and an African or me and a Caribbean person is walking down the street and we're melanated, in this country, they're not going to look and say, oh, that's a Jamaican, that's a foundational Black American, and that's what did I say? What was that when I said African? Yeah. They're just going to say, those are three niggas. So it's like when you look at it from that mindset, man, we all need to be trying to figure out how to have unity and group operation. Like, that
was my point.
Yeah, like, I mean, that's my...
Because then, like, I remember I was talking to Willie D the other night, he goes, oh, yeah, it's like, we've seen that in our community, but then there's also like, but he said, you see a lot of situations where Africans kind of look down on Black Americans, even though Black Americans have worked to kind of get, the overall Black community to a certain point and so forth. So the disrespect kind of goes both ways. And I just don't like all of it from both sides. From both sides, I don't like it. Because at the end of the day, what do you gain by beefing with people who look like you?
Hey, listen, once again, when you're talking about white supremacy does not care. White supremacy just sees you as a melanated person here in this country.
Right.
And they are going to treat you accordingly. So we can spend time, beefing amongst each other, but we're not each other's enemy. The real enemy is the people that are trying to oppress people of color all around the world. That's who we should be coming together to, boycott. That's who we should be coming together to take a stand against. The whole beefing with each other it doesn't make any sense to me, especially when I'm not gonna say we all know, because I do feel like there's a lot of Black people that were indigenous to America already. When you even look at a lot of pictures of Native Americans, they have like a lot of African American features. You go where I'm from in South Carolina, Geechee, Gullah, heritage, culture, like I feel like a lot of us were already here. But, also in South Carolina, we have this pier called Gadsden's Wharf. That's where the International African American Museum is built. I'm on the board of the International African American Museum.
Nice.
Damn near half of all slaves from West Africa came through that port. So I'm saying all that to say, we're all kind of in the same boat. Like, I don't look at people who came from Africa as being different from me, because whether you were indigenous to this land or you can trace your ancestry like I can back to West Africa, it's too many of us that are linked to the motherland. Africa is the birthplace of civilization, period. So I'm not gonna ever look at them and be like, oh, they not one of us. And they shouldn't look at us and be like they not one of them. Because when they make the decision to bring their asses to America, trust me, white supremacy is looking at them just like they looking at my foundational Black ass. So I just think unity and group operation is the way to go. I don't think we gain anything from having that kind of infighting amongst each other.
That's what it is. Charlamagne, after 2 years, man, thank you for coming back.
Yes.
You just had to make it happen.
Absolutely.
And like I've done with a few of my other guests, we're about to switch positions and you're about to interview me.
Absolutely. I do want to add one thing, though, just about the media conversation. I want to say that I'm happy for Joe Budden.
Yeah, me too.
You know, I'm looking at all the success because you said that earlier, and that's true. You know, I'm happy that he's finally he figured it out. You know, he figured it out, and he's doing things on his own terms, and I'm genuinely happy for him. You know, and also I want to salute the academics because Ak is a guy who, people may not know. Ak's first interview ever.
It's Breakfast Club.
No, it was with me. He was in college.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he was doing college radio, and he came to Power 105.1 to interview me. And so I mean that's on YouTube somewhere. So it's me and Ak. I don't know if people know that, but me and Ak talk. Like we
that's my man.
We catch up. Like what I'm saying. Like we may go a while without talking, but we always end up getting on the phone and catching up and having conversations. So I just think,
Ak, man.
Yeah, I think that's something people don't know.
Yeah.
And so they always trying to act like there's this beef and create these issues, and it's just like, nah. If these are people that I've known for a super duper long time, and like I said, me and Ak end up catching up. Me and Joe haven't caught up in years, but me and Ak end up catching up.
Dope.
Yep.